Hi, and welcome to the tutorial video for using frames in Prezi. There are 4 different types of frames. Your bracket frame, your circle frame, your rectangle frame, and my personal favorite, the invisible frame. So there are a couple of ways to add frames into your Prezi and to manipulate them once you've got them there. So you can add a frame by going to the Frames and Arrows menu and choosing one of the types. You can also pick Insert Frames, either here in the Frames and Arrows menu or here at the bottom of the path. Bring up this sidebar with a couple of options in it. You can also, once you select a frame, change its type by going to the small menu that pops up above and selecting a new type of frame. There are 2 ways to manipulate the size of a frame. You can either change its dimensions, or you can adjust its overall size, which will also change the size of the content inside the frame. Just as if when you move a frame, the content, like text or an image, moves with it. Frame colors are dictated by the theme that you've chosen for your Prezi, but there are ways to specifically just change the color of the frames. To do that, you want to go to Themes. So these are what you can do to change your overall Prezi theme. But if you go to Customize Current Theme and click through your options until you get to Shapes. So right now I have circle frame and bracket frame, rectangle frame set to black, but if I wanted them to be dark purple or a darker purple, that's better. Do that. So now you can see obviously the only one that didn't change is the invisible frame because it will be invisible. You can only see that gray outline while you're actually editing your Prezi. In presentation mode, it will disappear. Frames are also useful for navigating your Prezi during the editing process. You can double click on any frame to zoom and center it on your editing screen, or you can select the frame and then pick Zoom to Frame from that menu. Invisible frames are also useful when you want to group content together. So, for example, I have this invisible frame here. I've got some text. Let's say I also want to add a few images. And then maybe a little bit of clip art. And let's pretend that I have worked really hard getting these elements arranged exactly how I want them. That this is exactly what I want. That piece of beauty right there. But if I now want this text and these items in this exact configuration someplace else in the Prezi, I can use this invisible frame to group them together, and I can change the dimensions so it's just around my items. And now that they're together, I can move them anywhere on the Prezi. So I can move them onto my rectangle frame if I would like. And when I go into presentation mode, the rectangle frame is obviously still visible, but the invisible frame grouping my elements has disappeared. And that gives you the basic uses of frames in Prezi.